Hey, everybody. Welcome to part two of the Wednesday, October 14th live stream for studentloanjustice.org. Bandwidth sketchy. I'm going to try and keep this short, but picking up where we left off, we are endorsing loudly and proudly the Green Party's Howie Hawkins for president. We set a minimum criterion many months ago for our endorsement. That minimum criterion was that the candidate would pledge to return bankruptcy protections to student loans by executive order, and hopefully on day one as president. Now, Bernie Sanders met this criterion. Elizabeth Warren met the criterion. Joe Biden said that he was going to adopt Elizabeth Warren's bankruptcy plan. But nowhere on his website will you now today see, or in any of the speeches he's given, etc., any pledge that he will return bankruptcy to student loans by executive order. It's a very important distinction, folks. Very important. Joe Biden can say he's for bankruptcy, and really all he means is that if Congress brings me a bill, I'll sign it. That is not trustworthy. That's not credible. That's nothing that gives us any kind of certainty. And from Joe Biden's recent past, that is 8 years as vice president with Barack Obama, we endured through 8 years of hopey, changing, friendly sounding words coming from the Oval Office. And in the meantime, during those 8 years, nothing changed. $1 trillion nearly was added to the nation's student debt tab. So, folks, I am here to tell you that Joe Biden, at this point, has not earned our endorsement. Now, here's the most important thing that I'm going to say tonight, because I know a lot of people are upset, and blue no matter who, and I get that. I respect your position. You're a part of this group, and I totally respect that, appreciate that. Here's what you need to know. We are willing and ready to endorse multiple candidates in this race. We still stand at the ready to give Joe Biden, maybe not a glowing endorsement, but we are willing to endorse Joe Biden even at this late date. All that he needs to do is make the very same pledge that Elizabeth Warren made and that Bernie Sanders agreed to make, that he will return bankruptcy protections to student loans by executive order. I'm ready to do an endorsement for Joe Biden if he meets this very simple, very non-risky, in fact, unrisky threshold that we set many months ago as a requirement for our endorsement. So this could still happen. We could very easily endorse Joe Biden in this race. But he has got to do at least that. And think about it, folks. Joe Biden has already said that he's going to cancel student loans. Now, it's completely unbelievable. His student loan cancellation proposal is not worth the paper it's written on. And I could talk badly about his student loan cancellation plan for hours if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. Suffice it to say, Joe Biden has said he will cancel loans. And so all the votes that he was going to lose from people who are like, hey, those people need to pay their loans, I'm not going to vote for Biden because personal responsibility and this and that. Joe Biden's already lost those votes. Joe Biden could make the pledge to return bankruptcy to student loans by executive order tomorrow, and he would lose not one vote. In fact, he would probably pick up 1, 2, 3 million votes out of the 44 million distressed student loan borrowers in the country. Maybe even more. I don't know. Conservatively, I think he would probably pick up 2, 3, 4 million votes. Maybe more. So, really, the question that everybody out there, including and especially the blue no matter who people, the people who just can't stand the thought of Donald Trump getting another 4 years in office, the question you really need to be asking yourself is why on earth would Joe Biden and his campaign not consciously think about it and consciously decide to not make that pledge. We have put it to them very clearly. I have an email exchange that I could post if I wanted to with his campaign manager, where they fully acknowledged that we were asking them to do that. And I have an email trail for many months since then showing that we very diligently and in the best of good faith urged him strongly to make this pledge, like Elizabeth Warren did, like Bernie Sanders agreed to do. You have to ask yourselves, why would they not do that? Who are they fighting for if they consciously decide to throw away 3-4 million votes from distressed student loan borrowers? Like, what is going on behind the veil at the Joe Biden campaign? I don't know. But what I do know is that there is absolutely no good reason on God's green earth that the Joe Biden campaign should not make this very no-brainer pledge to return bankruptcy protection student loans by executive order. So, if you are upset with our endorsement of the Green Party, think about what I just said. Rewind this video by 4 minutes and listen to me again if you didn't understand what I said. I hope that I was clear. And think about what the most constructive thing that you can do from here on out is. Well, I'll tell you what it is. If you want Joe Biden to win this election, then you will put every ounce of pressure on him that you can possibly put on him to get him to take this very non-risky, politically advantageous step and make this pledge. They should do it. There's no reason that they shouldn't do it. And if you think dispassionately about what you can do constructively to help Joe Biden win, then contacting his campaign at every level that you can think of and telling them in the strongest of terms that they absolutely must make the pledge to return bankruptcy protections to student loans by executive order. So I hope that I have convinced you that we are indeed fighting only and absolutely for the student loan borrowers in this country. This is a catastrophically failed lending system that demands immediate and drastic action. We will not endorse any candidate who promises only to perpetuate more of the same upon us. The nation can't afford it. We can't afford it. The tens or hundreds of millions of people that follow in our footsteps cannot afford it. We're this close to being able to endorse Joe Biden, but he's got to come that one extra easy, no-brainer step. So make it your mission between now and I would say October 20th, because people are going to really be voting by then, to get Joe Biden to come around. Same exact comment for Donald Trump, by the way. If you are a Donald Trump fan, again, this is a no-brainer. Donald Trump would not lose almost any, in fact, I would say he would lose no votes by returning bankruptcy protections to these loans by executive order before the election. He would gain some votes. Probably as many as Biden would gain, maybe even more. But remember, folks, don't be so cowed by this two-party duopoly that has been taking us for granted for certainly the 15 years that I've been doing this, but even longer. We are stronger than that. We are now in play, and this is the biggest voter bonanza in the modern history of U.S. politics, certainly in my lifetime. We are 55 million voters who have student loans or are co-signed on them. 44 million of us, we're never going to be able to repay our loans even before the coronavirus crisis. So this is not a time to be shy and meek and say, I'm going to vote for the lesser of two evils. No. This is the time to be putting maximum pressure on whatever candidate you want to win to make this very uncontroversial low political risk, in fact, no political risk, pledge to return bankruptcy protections to student loans. I hope I have convinced you. I hope you won't leave this group, because that, quite frankly, would be a very chump thing to do. We have stood by our vow to fight only and totally for the student loan borrowers in this country. So we have not changed. If you want to be lazy and say, "Oh, Green Party, you guys, I'm done with you guys," and if you want to pout and go home and join another group that's fighting for student loan justice, well, good luck with that, because that group does not exist. We've looked at all the other groups out there, and they are not fighting for students. They are beltway concoctions. The last thing they want to do is solve the student loan problem. That would mean they would be out of a job. I would love to be out of a job. I would love to be able to take this banner down and put it in a museum. We absolutely are fighting to get these loans gone, whether it's through bankruptcy or what would be most appropriate through loan cancellation. So, folks, don't run away. We are the only game in town. Please, I beg you, if this endorsement troubles you, then please, I beg you, contact, and if you're a blue person, contact the Biden campaign at your earliest convenience, and in the strongest of terms, tell them to make this very simple no-brainer pledge. If you are a MAGA person and you want Trump to win this election, which he is looking, it's going to be very tough for Trump. He's going to have a far harder time this time than last, in my opinion. Then the same exact advice applies. Don't get pissed because we endorse the Green Party. We stand at the ready to endorse any and all candidates who meet that very minimum threshold of pledging to return bankruptcy protections, student loans by executive order. So please do the right thing, do the constructive thing, and reach out to the candidate of your choice and say whatever you can say to get them to make that pledge. So, good luck. Godspeed. Stick around. It's going to get interesting over the next few weeks. Spread the word about our endorsement, whether you agree with it or not. We are putting pressure exactly where the pressure needs to be put in order to solve this problem. Respect that. Good luck. God bless.